For today's video, I wanted to do a quick collective handbag update of the 3 newest handbags to be added to my collection in 2021. As you can see, it's been a busy year so far. We're not even through August just yet, and I've got 3 handbags that are in my collection so far. I mean, I guess in the scale of luxury creators here on YouTube, it's probably not that much, but for me, it's a lot. So I wanted to do a progress update of how I've been getting on, because usually on my channel, I do a lot of in-depth 1-year, 2-year reviews, which I know you guys appreciate, but I think for the time being anyway, since I've only had some of these bags for a few months, one of which, my latest handbag, the classic flap, I've only had for barely like 3-4 weeks. And I feel like sometimes a super in-depth review is just a little bit too much potentially if you just want to see how I'm getting on, if you're in between decision making at this particular time. Wanted to throw up a quick video onto this channel just so you get a little bit of a handbag update, a mini review of each of these bags before I end up doing a full in-depth one. So before I get started, let me just give you a little bit of a summary of what we have going on here, and I'll talk about each of the bags very, very quickly in the chronological order that I got them. So the first bag that I got this year was the Chanel single flap bag here that you can see. I think actually they're still selling this bag. I've seen it popping up in Harrods where I actually bought it. In fact, all these bags were from Harrods, so my favourite department store of all time, now black member, yeah. This single flap bag was bought, I think, early March, and unboxed all of these actually on my channel, so you can find individual videos about them, revealing them. And I think I bought this particular bag for about 3,400 or almost 3,500. It wasn't like a whole number or anything like that. But they still have them knocking about in various colors. I've seen a gorgeous silver color. I think they have black as well, white, obviously this gold. I'm gonna skip the middle one because chronologically I did not get that bag next. I got this bag here next, and it's currently sideways, so I'll pull her out because you can't really see her from the back. It's currently resting on my piano keyboard. So this is the Louis Vuitton On The Go tote in size GM. She a big gal up in here. That's because she's usually a travel bag or work bag. A lot of people use it for that. That's exactly why I bought this particular bag, and it's in the 1854 print. It's textile on the outside. It's not canvas, even though it definitely feels well, it's like a softer feeling canvas. It's very, very durable. And sorry, I keep having to take hair out of my mouth because, side note, you may have realized I've got a little fringe situation going on. I'm just trying it out for today's video. I want to do something very different. If you guys hate it, just let me know in the comments below and I won't do it again. Or, at least grow it out a bit more so we've got more fringe. Anyway, that aside, this particular bag is essentially a work travel bag, and it's very, very roomy and spacious inside. You can see I've got my Smorga bag inserts in there. You can use code Melanchella for some dollar off. Everything at the moment is empty aside from the classic flap, which I'm going to be using later, and it's the bag that I've been using quite recently. So this bag, like I mentioned, bought from Harrods. I think it might be 2070 or something, like a random number, but that one is the cheapest of the bags that we have. And then the final bag that we have here, the most recent purchase in addition to my handbag collection, is this Chanel classic flap, which is definitely the most expensive handbag that I have in my collection to date. And this bad boy went for a whopping £5,890, I believe, if that is the correct number in the top of my head, because Lord knows you can't forget a number that big. Very, very precious to me right about now, but I am using her and I want to get as much use out of her as possible because damn, she's expensive. She is very expensive. And this is the medium flap, by the way, just in case you're interested. It's in the light green color. It's got kind of this rose goldy champagne hardware as well. Let me go through them in the chronological order that I bought them in again, in terms of how I've been getting on with them. So this bag, the single flap Chanel bag. This is the bag that I've been using, I'd say, out of all 3 of them, purely because of the time that I've had it as well. I've been using this one cumulatively the most, and this has just been my go-to going out bag. This obviously does not fit an awful lot because of its small size, but surprisingly, for something that is very comparable to a wallet on chain size, it's quite roomy. It fits all my essentials. It fits my phone, which is the biggest essential. I know we're in a trend at the moment of like mini bags, and there's some mini Chanel vanity bags, but in a situation where I need to be hands-free and not have my phone, I really do not want to have to faff around with like putting it in my I don't know, my pocket, my cleavage. That's why this bag is just a godsend in terms of the fact that it can actually just slot nicely in there with some room there to kill as well. Obviously you can't get many more things in there because it's just quite small. You just got to work with what you got. I don't use the pockets, if I'm being quite honest, because they don't really add anything. They're just so skinny and thin. And this pocket in the middle, the zip compartment, it's almost like they should not, like, I don't even know why they have it. They probably shouldn't have that, because then you can't fit anything in there apart from a few cards, which I guess makes it very much like a wallet on chain. But I didn't buy a wallet on chain, okay? This is a handbag. It's certainly a handbag price tag. So the pockets are a little bit redundant in my opinion, but I guess with the price tag, you get every scrap of leather that you can. But I think it's a gorgeous going out bag. Goes with all my outfits because it's like essentially a neutral, isn't it? This gold colour. And I think it's just really, really special in terms of the actual, the pearl detail, the acrylic detail on the top there. So overall, I find myself reaching for this bag an awful lot, especially because it's so durable as well. This is calf skin leather. All of my bags, pretty much, none of them like are lambskin, that's for sure, but they're all calf skin or caviar leather, and I prefer it that way because you just never know what's going to happen, right? You know, getting it scuffed outside, it's some things are just out of your control, and so I find that it's in really good nick still. This bag comes out every week, minimum once a week, so it's really, really handy also because you can go hands-free with it, you can wear it crossbody. That is the preferred way that I wear it because I find that the drop length is a little bit annoying, it's a little bit long, but it's not like in a major way. That's just me being really nitpicky because when I'm hands-free, it feels like it's just something that could fall off your shoulder or someone could realistically just pull it off. Obviously, it would be nice if it could go, you know, like over the shoulder, double strapped. Would be nice also if you could even potentially remove these little chains here because it is a very wallet on chain clutch style. I think it would look even nicer with, you know, removable straps there, because I find that sometimes when I hold the clutch like this, if you're posing for a photo, you want to just have a nice, you know, under the arm moment, you can do that, but then this happens with the chain, which you could probably see it going on. It just kind of, I'm not sure what it is. The metal on this particular bag chain is very sticky, so your chain ends up just kind of like bending. So now I've fixed it, it's fine, but that's why it would be nice just to have it removed. Also for storage purposes as well, because you don't really want to have the metal on the bag when you store it. It would be good if it was removable so then you can actually store it separately or inside the bag. But aside from that, all good with this bag, and it's one of my favourites. I never thought I would be able to downsize to this extent, especially given that I have bags like my Prada Kahia bag, which is probably the same size, but because of the fastening on that one, it's quite difficult to get stuff in. Whereas this one, I don't have that issue at all. So I'm very happy with it. And like I mentioned, it is my most used bag thus far, hands down. Anyway, let's move on to the next bag that we have, which is the Louis Vuitton On-The-Go tote. This one I have used quite a lot in terms of the travelling side of the house. I've used the small bag insert a lot in terms of keeping its shape. Obviously the base is very, very soft usually. In my unboxing video, I think I showed just how soft it was. So this really does help with maintaining the shape. Also, it's helpful because I can, you know, easily identify where my stuff is because the lining is red inside. So yeah, lots of organisation, lots of pockets, natural pockets as well in the bag itself. You've got a zip compartment there. And as well as like a slip pocket here on the side. You can fasten the bag with this little hook thing. I've never used it though, because I find that when I've got so much stuff in the bag, it naturally just kind of closes in such a way anyway when you've got this strap that it's quite secure, I feel. I've always had so much stuff in that it can never do up, so it's a bit redundant. I think they should have just removed this. I don't see the point of it, or made it longer so you can actually do it up, because obviously this is a travel bag. For a lot of people, this is a work bag. If you once you get a laptop in there, you basically can't close the damn thing, which is fine because, like I mentioned, it feels quite secure anyway. And with the optional shoulder straps, oh my god, this is a godsend. Sometimes I don't even put this on my shoulder, I just hold it handheld because there's just so much stuff in there. It's kind of hard to grab the two handheld straps with ease without your hand really hurting in there. So it's really good to have these straps, and I love the fact that you can just push them in. I haven't really seen any other bags that do that. And this one, I would also say, is very durable. I've had this now since, oh gosh, I think I got this actually also around March or April time. And this one I've been using not as often as the Chanel, the little flat bag, but I would say I've probably used it since we're working from home. It's kind of difficult to tell, but for visiting friends or a small staycation holidays and things like that, weekend getaways, probably once every couple of weeks since buying it. So a fair amount, I would say, given that I also have a ton of other bags in my collection, as well as just being at home for majority of the working day anyway. This has been really great in terms of durability. As you can see, I mean, the print itself is very forgiving, even if I was to get marks on it. Miles better than the choice that I was going to get, which would have been the By the Pool Collection GM tote. So this one is just extremely durable. It's fit for the purpose of having it as being a truly on the go everyday tote bag. I've also gotten a fair few compliments on this bag as well, just purely because the print is just so wow. It's very unique for Louis Vuitton. It definitely gives you a book tote vibe, but that I think is being really phased out. No one's really talking about that Dior bag anymore, and so this is a lot more classic and less dated to a particular year or collection or even trend, to be honest with you. I just love pulling this out because it just makes me feel so put together, and as a travel bag, bunging everything into here, whenever you just pull it out, it just looks really put together, even though the inside might be a total mess. So I've really enjoyed using this bag. It just so happens that the two Louis Vuitton bags that I have are both travel bags, which I am really rating their travel bags so far, and it's quite inexpensive compared to the other Louis Vuitton bags, or just bags in general. I think this one's like on the affordable side for now, so if you have been considering it, would highly recommend. The GM size I think is the best if you want to fit your laptop in it or just make it into an actual travel bag. I feel like the is a bit of an awkward size, to be honest with you. If you are anything like my height, around 5'7", I feel like once you get from 5'5" onwards, the just looks a little bit like an in-between kind of size, and not in like a Goldilocks way, in like an awkward middle child kind of way. Let me move on to the final bag here, and then we'll close out this video, and you can leave me any questions in the comments as well. This bag, obviously Chanel Classic Flap, I've only had for a few weeks now because I've been using it and filling it up with stuff. There's a few things that I've noticed with it that I want to share with you. Overall, of course, this is a very stunning, beautiful colorway bag. This is the talk of the town. Every time I bring it out, it is just amazing, isn't it? And you guys seem to love it a lot when I unboxed it here on this channel. I think everyone just really loves the chevron and the beautiful Tiffany color. This bag is also one that is actually quite functional in terms of it does fit a fair bit. In terms of all the Chanel bags I have, I would say it is on the roomier side because it is a medium flat bag. But what I would say is I'm having a little bit of gripes in terms of the actual compartmentalization of the bag. I mean, where do I even start with these kind of things? So first of all, there's a pocket that really doesn't do anything. I know there are history and some cute little stories from Gabrielle Chanel, right, around why she has these zips and these flat pockets and everything like that. I just don't think they serve anything, and all of my bags I realised in that moment were all single flaps, and I preferred it that way. I mean, this bag I don't think is actually that full visually. You can see, yeah, okay, there's a few things in there, but it's, you know, you could still theoretically put more in there, and I haven't even put anything in the side pockets as well. But it's just a nightmare to fasten because of this flap right here, and had they removed that, you could fill way more in, and it would be a lot lighter as well because obviously it's full leather. Then you have this pocket here, which I feel like always gets warped whenever I put stuff in it or want to. So let me say if I put my iSolid charger, like I could actually fit that in there, but once you put something in there, it actually just warps the main compartment behind it, which I think is probably gonna be quite damaging to the bag over time. And it will just develop wrinkles, or it just won't look very nice. It'll just look really worn for absolutely no reason. I thought this had structure, doesn't really, and so I don't really want to put stuff in there because every time even I want to get it out, like the leather just pushes like that. Can you see that? And then obviously things in here, in these back compartments, very limited. I also don't carry around lipsticks. I mean, I've got a liquid lip here, so I could try and put that in the middle. But again, similar thing happens in which the compartments just kind of warp the bag and pushes everything forward. So if you had anything in there, well, that's gonna come straight out. Having said that, this bag does fit an awful lot inside, obviously way more than the single flap that I have here. So there is a temptation then, once you have a bigger bag, you just want to put more stuff in it. I like the ways that you can wear the bag. I think the over the shoulder moment, double strapped, is really nice, and it also distributes the weight quite well. The drop length is comfortable too. Something that I do wish that this bag had was the ability to go crossbody, but it actually not look bulky or too short. I think it comes up way too short on my body, and even when I've seen people with the small flat bags, even that looks a little bit uncomfortable to the eye when you wear it crossbody. It's just not designed for that really, so it's really only over the shoulder. So I do find myself being really mindful when I have been out and about with this particular bag, just for theft reasons purely as well. Sorry, there is a dog that is the neighborhood dog and is going absolutely nuts. So with that in mind, I'm going to leave this video right here. That's the first impressions / high-level progress update of how I've been getting on with the 3 newest bags to my handbag collection. As always, if you've got any questions for me about these bags, let me know down in the comments below, as well as just sharing your thoughts on the bags if you own them yourselves, if you had similar experiences or not. I'd love to know. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.